Welcome back to Bite Size Sports Gang. Kev here with me as always, my dear friend James. James, happy Thursday. How we doing so far?
I am fantastic, Kev. Kev, I've got to compliment that hat. The Expos hat, the throwback, that's a beautiful hat. So cheers to you, bud.
I appreciate that. I miss my beloved Expos. Some folks may not know this about me, but a big portion of my family lived in Montreal for quite some time. So my mother is an Expos fan. I was a Cubs fan growing up. I always had a soft spot for the Spos, though. And maybe one day they'll come back. There used to be rumors that the Tampa Bay Rays
that would be really cool.
because of their poor attendance may need to move. And I'm just saying, don't forget about Montreal if we ever get a baseball expansion.
Bring them back. Bring them back. I'm here for it. Bring the Expos back.
J'aime les Expos. Okay. There's your French lesson for the day. Welcome, everybody. It's a Thursday night. You may notice we are at a new time. This will be our time slot going forward for a few reasons, not the least of which being so we can talk to you about Thursday night football before it happens instead of during the first half. And then we can do some preview stuff for you. Most weeks, we'll talk about the fantasy implications of Thursday. My only hope for you as a player out there is that you're not playing too many people in tonight's Thursday night football game. Because if you are, then your season's probably already pretty rough. So we might not be able to help you. But we'll be talking about that.
Gross game tonight.
Yeah, before we talk about
Go Knicks. Yeah, well, let's talk about this dumpy of a game first.
I was going to say, before we talk about that gross game, do we want to talk about our
shout out
our
to
own
Kev?
Disgusting game?
Kev, they beat the Titans in quite the disgusting game. Me and Kev were pretty spot on with our predictions, and I was right saying I was more worried about Flacco than AR. And
that's
what
fair.
A disgusting game. Just
not pretty.
Gross.
Yeah, no JT for the Colts.
The receivers did play. I think that was the difference. Pittman and Downs played. I think that was the difference in the game.
Yeah, Pittman had two huge plays. I mean, the touchdown, the jump ball touchdown
was so weird.
Ridiculous.
So I couldn't watch it live, and I saw the replay, and Flacco's falling backwards and it's like the seas parted open, and he just was right there with the guy behind him, and I was like, "What the fuck, guys? Come on!"
Yeah, it's like a scene from a 90s Disney sports movie. You know, you can see the ball in the air and you can hear the dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Like, then he grabs
throw it.
Jump ball. It was not pretty, but it was a great play by Pittman. And what a beast. Either that guy is an absolute legend, or somebody in my beloved Colts front office was a bit shady with the rumors, because he went from potentially going on IR to starting and being a big playmaker in the game. So they said he had a breakthrough with his back injury. Maybe it was
a breakthrough with a back injury. I think that was all BS. It was all BS because he played, but that was weird. What a weird deal.
Some intentional BS, maybe. I'm not sure. But yeah, it was a gross game.
Gross game.
Yeah,
Levis doesn't look good, and he looks hurt. So, not good.
What has he – I know he was banged up in college because both of our teams were discussed as potential Will Levis. Well, maybe actually the Colts in the early going were pegged more for Levis, and you guys actually ended up.
They really were, yeah. Well, I think there was a lot of smoke and mirrors in that draft too. You know?
That's true. So I have watched plenty of Will Levis college tape, so I know that was the big discussion point when you look at his junior year compared to his senior year. There was an injury involved, and he was not the same player the next year. A little less, still a great athlete, but wasn't making the same explosive plays with his feet. And just, numbers were down. Also didn't have Wan'Dale Robinson to throw to. That means a whole heck of a lot.
Yeah,
as we're learning in the league now.
Passes for 10 yards.
Yeah. Well, great PPR guy. But so what are the injuries that he's dealing with now? Is it still that ankle leg thing?
It's the shoulder. He dove in the Miami game 2 games ago, the Monday Night Football travesty game. He dove and sprained his AC joint. So on top of looking tentative and like he's fucking in his own head and maybe he's not any good, he's also dealing with the shoulder injury, so he doesn't have the zip on his passes. So he kind of underthrew some, and I don't know. It's not looking good for the old Mayo man, boys and girls. They're also they don't trust him at all to throw the ball one bit, but they're not using his legs at all. He's not Michael Vick. He's Josh Allen-ish. Like, use his legs more.
Yeah, especially if you're, get a moving pocket, open things up. You're going to give him, I mean, theoretically, right? If you roll out to your right, you're cutting off half the field. You're maybe making it a little easier on him, giving him fewer reads to go through, and an option to just take the sideline and go get 3 yards and run out of bounds. You're maybe simplifying things a little bit. And if you were to just run the ball more, as James alluded to previously, that's a young quarterback's best friend. Is
Pollard was having
a good game.
game.
Especially against the Colts, you should be running it 30 times against his defense. Yeah.
And then late in the game, they go 3 and out. And the one it was 5 yards with Pollard, 4 yards with Pollard, then they got stopped, and they might as well fucking went for it. Also, fucking coaching malpractice. 2 minutes, 25 seconds left in the game. You're down, and you punt the ball on 4th and 7. That's so fucking stupid. I don't care that it was on your 25. Guess what? They never got the ball back, Kev. They never got it back.
Yeah,
they punted it and lost. That's such a fucking coaches. It's like, I don't understand it. How you can mess that kind of shit up.
Yeah, it'd be one thing. So we're probably in agreement here. If it's 4 minutes and 13 seconds left, I'm saying you punt that one all day, because you've got, even if they get a first down, it's going to be a minute before they get to the 2-minute warning. So there's a good chance that you're going to get the ball back, maybe just inside the 2 minutes, with a minute to change and a timeout or two, right? But once you get inside 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes, you really have to be realistic about that and say, hey, like James said, we're not going to get this one back. There's a chance that we don't get this one back. So I don't know. That's not the time to be incredibly passive, in my opinion.
No,
I think the thought was that this Colts offense was hurt and bad, so they're like, we're definitely going to get the ball back, I guess, was the thought process. But
I guess, but you can't assume that. Like, you play conservative all game. Playing conservative is playing to lose. Call a spade a spade. You play conservative all game because you're worried Levis can turn it over, whatever the deal is, and he has. But it's fucking winning time. Like, there isn't another quarter after this one. You're not punting into halftime. Like, you got to fucking try to win it.
Has been horrible on 3rd and long. I don't know necessarily as much about 4th and long, but this is a team that on multiple 3rd and 19s has given up first downs on running plays. Like, this is a
4th
bad
and 7.
defense. Very bad defense.
Not ideal, but you got to try to win the fucking game at some point. The conservativeness down the stretch, the back-to-back 3 and outs cost them the game, and it broke me. That was the game. There it was. Like, I'm out. Like, we suck. Fucking lose them all.
Now you get your Sunday afternoons back.
I'm now worried about Callahan too, because he was supposed to be this quarterback guru, and Levis looks worse than last year by far. I think he had 93 passing yards and a touchdown and an interception. Like, he looks bad.
How many gurus do you see yelling at people outside of John Tapper and that angry blonde chef? What's his name?
Yeah. When's the last time you saw Andy Reid motherfuck Patrick Mahomes ever?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I know Will's made some, but he's made some
fucking mistakes. Yeah.
But what kind of guru is just screaming at his student? That's not what I remember from Karate Kid. I don't remember him be like, fucking wax on and wax off, you stupid shit. You goddamn idiot. I just don't know that's, I know it's football. Obviously, anybody who's played football has been yelled at a few times. I'm not saying that to treat him like he's fragile or broken, but also I wonder, how much positive reinforcement is old Mayo man getting in the locker room or in film? Because if he's having a confidence issue, maybe now's not the time to be riding his ass too hard. I know it's the NFL, it's the big boy league, but maybe
it's a big boy league,
be a
man,
little more of a
he
positive influence might help.
Can we help him out in any way? Because that man has no confidence right now. None. He's so scared to do anything.
And you talked about the conservative play calling, and this is where I have to tip my cap towards the Colts coach Shane Steichen, who normally honestly drives me insane with how much he overthinks things, or sometimes it gets too cute where it's like, oh, it's 4th and inches. Let's get JT out of the game and put in Trey Sermon and run a toss crack play. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Hand it off to Jonathan Taylor, or have your 6'5" Anthony Richardson just do the quarterback sneak to get those inches. But he was aggressive in, I believe it was a 3rd and 7, ran a play action boot with Flacco, who threw
got Flacco on the move. Oh, baby.
It was well covered, James. Could not have been covered any better, and the ball was perfect, but they completed a pass. That's what kept your boys from getting the ball back. Was rather the Colts had a decision. Either we're going to run it one more time. They're going to stop us. They're going to call timeout. We're going to punt it back, or we play for the first down. And they played for it. They got the first down. If they hadn't gotten it, they look like idiots because they're saving you a timeout and giving you the ball back with even more time. But he rolled the dice. They made the play. And that is one of those instances where, it definitely pays to have the veteran in there. But I have a question for you. What up, Headbud? Welcome to the show. My question for you, James, just because I need an outside opinion on this. Colts Twitter is very back and forth, and I want to check, make sure that I am not crazy. Let's say, hypothetically, Anthony Richardson is cleared to go. The oblique injury is all healed up. He's 100%. If you are the coach of the Colts, are you listening to this narrative of people on the media saying that Joe Flacco gives you the best chance to win now? Or are you saying, no, we need to know what we have from Anthony Richardson, and he's our starter no matter what?
AR's your starter. You drafted him top 5. Like, you're not supposed to be good. Like, right. Even though, how many, you guys 3-3, is that right? What's the...
they're
3-3. Like, 500 for you guys is okay, but you have to find out with him. It's the argument that the Titans should turn to Mason Rudolph because he gives them the best chance to win. The Titans suck.
That's always my question.
We should be going 2-16, not 5-13. We should be trying to get the highest draft pick we can, or Levis figures it out somehow, and then all of a sudden you go 5-13.
And you take a step next year with him.
Then you take a step next year. Yeah, like, it's the argument. Like, you're not supposed to be good. You need to find out what AR is. I don't understand why Flacco went there, because he still looks like he can start in the league. There's some teams that could use him right now.
Crazy to think about. This time last year, he was still retired.
Yeah, and then he took the Browns to the playoffs. Was not a fluke thing. The Browns would love to have him back right now.
Oh, yeah. It was,
from a stylistic perspective, it was weird that they signed him. He could start for the Dolphins right now, fucking the Browns. There are a handful. Probably, let's go take a gander. Let's go here. None of those. The East is really good.
There are so many other options.
We said the Browns, not the North.
Like, even back in New York,
Panthers.
Right? He could go be Aaron Rodgers backup.
Aaron Rodgers backups are the same. He'd start for both
playbook,
teams tonight. Both shitbag teams tonight he'd start for. So there's 5 or 6 teams he'd start for and make them immediately better. He'd start for Tennessee. Like, you wouldn't, but he would. It made no sense. It was such a weird signing from a stylistic perspective, but now it's like he still can play, which is why he was retired. Yeah, he was retired.
I do agree with you. I hated the signing initially. I have since come around, clearly, but there were so many players that had at least a little more athleticism that I thought it was more important for there to be continuity in the offense, and for you to not have this mobile
Tyler Huntley made a lot of
threat.
Sense.
Yeah, he really made a lot of a Pro Bowl backup. Like, you Can't tell me that guy can't manage the game
Yeah.
for you as your backup.
You get Flacco to the Dolphins right now, and they're fucking a playoff team again.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, they really just need, if there was ever a team that just needed a ball manager and the fact that, or a game manager, and the fact that he can still get the ball down the field. Alec Pierce, at least going into last week, was leading the league in yards per catch. He's averaging like 28 yards per reception. So they're still
it's bomb city with Alec Pierce
getting the ball down the field. But yeah, so it was a weird fit. I like it now. But when I hear people, and this isn't just weirdos on Twitter trying to get attention through hot takes, this is the national sports media, which is also just trying to get attention through hot takes, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. It's
this like, argument.
Let's just take a gander here at like just the standings in general. Like let's take a look at the playoffs just for shits and gigs. You're not winning the South because you already lost to Houston.
Exactly. He gives you the best chance to get a wild card win, which then I get the idea that it was, if you have a ticket to the dance, Eli Manning, a two-time wild card Super Bowl winner. I get it, but let's be realistic.
Yeah. You're tied for 7th. Like you're there. You're in the running right now. Oh, I want playoff. That's what I want. Sorry. You're in the running. There we go. Come on, computer. Come on, little buddy.
You got it. Come on, baby.
Come on, little buddy. Nope. There's no data available. Okay, so let's just look. Yeah, you're tied for 7th. Oh my God. Now it's all fucked up. All right, you're tied for 7th with the Broncos, followed closely by the Jets, Dolphins, right there. If you sneak into the playoffs with AR as your quarterback, fucking great. That's awesome, right?
Oh, sure, but that's
Joe Flacco does you no good. Because this team is not competing with Chiefs. I already mentioned the Texans, the Ravens, fucking Bills. Their teams are better.
And you have no.
You sneak in the playoffs with AR and get some playoff experience, and then you're like, oh shit, like we do know what we have. Like, okay, we got something to work with, and we got playoffs with them, so there's confidence boost.
And even if they lose a bunch of games with him in there, but you can see the potential. He gets the game experience. He gets to make some reads, and then you also get another decent first-round pick going into the next season. Like, that's not the worst thing either. There's still there's a lot of help needed on this defense, so it won't be the worst thing. Coming from a Pacers fan who, for years,
don't do the Pacers
middle of the road. It took people getting hurt and them just having no choice but to fall in the rankings and then to finally get a top 10 pick and make a trade to change their trajectory. But they were stuck there for a decade and a half. So it's not the worst thing for them to have a couple of losing seasons in a row with the right young quarterback that can take them somewhere in the future. At least that's my opinion. So as much as I love Joe Flacco being there and being a crutch, you got to play AR once he's 100%. And not a moment sooner, by the way. There's no point in rushing him back either. Because, again, this is bonus time. This was a rebuild year. If you somehow make the playoffs, that is icing on the cake. It's correct. But it shouldn't be a realistic – to the players, it should be a realistic goal. But to the fans in the front office and people looking forward – like that should be just a bonus achievement. It should really be more about figuring out what this team has going forward and what holes really need to be plugged and where can we build from within. What do we have on the practice squad that's usable and where do we have to solve something in the draft? And hey, Chris Ballard, maybe sign a fucking free agent and make a trade while you still have your job. That might not be the worst idea either. What up, John? With all the aggressive free agent moves and O-line investment, this year was always about finding out if Levis can be the guy. You agree with that take?
Yes, he's absolutely correct. And I'm on an argument train that the Titans are on track to get a top 5 draft pick, maybe top 3, and a quarterback class that's not great. Shedeur, Ewers, and Carson Beck are the top guys. I'm not mad if you trade down or go get goofy and just say fuck it and ride Levis one more year, and if he figures it out next year, great. If not, you end up with fucking Arch Manning. The Titans, again, also not a finished, but their defense is elite, but their offensive line needs help.
Oh, if Arch Manning plays for the Titans, dude, I might quit watching football.
The Colts might be sick. Colts fans will be sick if Arch Manning ends up in Tennessee. Sick, I tell you.
Oh,
Like, that's the reason you really should, like, regardless, you should be like, hey, we're willing to toss next season to make sure we get the nephew of Peyton.
How they're not gonna. We got to come up with the clever name for it now. There was suck for luck, tank for Tua.
Yep.
We got to get ass for Arch. We
can do better.
We'll
we can do better, guys. We can do better. Point. Yeah.
No bad ideas in brainstorming. All right.
That's fucking funny.
Oh, and we go from bad ideas to bad Thursday night football matchups. It's probably about that time, James, to talk about tonight's Broncos Saints game. We got a couple of young, exciting quarterbacks for your Madden franchise. Maybe not so much to watch tonight, though. What are your thoughts going into Broncos Saints? I got to get the odds pulled up here. I can't remember who's favored.
Fart for Arch. Ask for Arch sounds great. Let's take let me pull the odds. Last I checked, the Broncos were favored by 3. Let's see if that is the same. Broncos by 2.5.
Ooh, a little slide
no
down.
Olave for the Saints. No Derek Carr. Rashid Shaheed had meniscus surgery today. They just announced he's out for the season.
Boom.
This is going to be disgusting.
Be a heavy dose of Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, this is going to be – it's going to be disgusting.
And on the other hand, we have Bo Nix and
Javonte
Williams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who unfortunately is the one player I do have going tonight because I'm dealing with some injuries.
I have Kamara in a fantasy league. So I am paying attention to Kamara. I'm for the first time in my hometown league, I'm first through 6 games. It's the best season I've had in a long time. Kamara is one of my running backs. So feed him. Give it to him 200 times. Preferably all dump passes. 1.2 yards. 1.2 yards.
Little shovel pass and screens.
Kamara Walls 2024.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Just give him all of them.
Common fantasy team name.
Please.
Yeah, so my outlook for this game, I don't know what the spread is. If I were betting, I'd take the under. Neither of these teams, I think, are very impressive offensively. Bo Nix has been better than I expected.
I am pleasantly surprised, but the bar was set very low for him. 37 is the over-under. I'm taking $1 bazillion on the under. That ain't no. It's gonna be a 10-3.
I thought you were gonna give me something like 27. I thought it was gonna be hard.
Nope.
That's what she said. No way. We're taking the under. Wow.
Yeah, this game's gross.
I anticipate it. It's weird because the Saints defense, last week they gave up something like 450 yards.
Yeah,
they had that picked off Baker 3 times. It was the weirdest fantasy score I've ever seen. The defense scored 10 points despite giving up 45 points and 400 yards because they forced, I think, 4 turnovers. So just a nuts game. So I don't know what to expect from the Saints defense. I think Broncos defense will be probably a little bit better of the 2 units, but Bo Nix might be a little bit better than Spencer Rattler at this time, but he wasn't awful last week, James. I thought he played
he played better than expected. He just nobody to throw to. Olave out, Shaheed out, like crazy. I don't know who he's gonna throw it to. That's
do they still have Taysom Hill out too? Are they even
Taysom Hill's out there
a hybrid tight end? Jeez. You got nobody. He's going to be that meme of the kid in the backyard just throwing the pass up, and you used to run. You throw a high ball up and just go chase it and have to catch it yourself because you're too weird to make friends in the neighborhood. I don't know why that last part was oddly specific, but any other players or matchups you're looking at tonight for fantasy purposes, James? other than Kamara?
I've just got Kamara. I'm be paying attention to the Broncos D. I think we're going to play him in a DraftKings league just because the Saints have nobody.
Good, decent matchup. Yeah, nobody else for me other than that unfortunate now downswing of Javonte Williams. He was trending up for a couple of weeks. I think he had, it wasn't a ton, but he had like 138 yards over the course of 2 games last week. Did not have a lot of yards, did have a fumble, still caught 3 passes. So he didn't make it a complete whiff, but I think he scored about 6 fantasy points. I kind of expect, unless there's some big turnover, pick 6 situation, that both teams will look to establish the run early, because we talked about in our previous segment, everybody knows it's a young quarterback's best friend. Ooh, Surtain is out. That's gonna
Surtain is out. Yeah, that helps, but does it matter when it's me and you out there running routes? Who's guarding us?
Yeah, that's a valid point. So for me, I think the odds makers get this one right. I think it's Broncos by a field goal, James. What about you?
Same. I'm not going to be paying too much attention to this one, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Of course, we made this switch so that we could accommodate the Thursday night football schedule. And
yeah. What a week to start it at, huh?
Yeah. This was maybe a week we could have started at 9. But nevertheless, from a game you won't be paying much attention to a game this Saturday, I believe that you'll be paying a whole lot of attention to. The Nebraska Cornhuskers take on the Indiana Hoosiers. It's James versus Nate.
Nate,
how you feeling?
Nate's scared. He's not even going. He's so scared, bro. He's so scared.
Yeah, he was hiding in a cave. He was going somewhere where there won't even be electricity, so he won't know. Probably won't even have cell phone signal in there.
Sad day for him. Feeling good. IU favored by 6.5, I think, is high. Nebraska's got 1 loss to it was a ranked Illinois team. I don't know if they're still ranked. Nebraska should be ranked. This should be like a 16 versus 24, 25 matchup.
You said it, Headbug, not me. That's funny. And is he going to the UK?
I'm excited. I'm going there. I'm going to go tailgate Saturday morning. Big noon kickoff's going to be there. I'm going to be in the game cheering for the old Skurs. We'll see how it goes. I'm pumped. Both teams are good, so it'll be fun. About an hour, 15-minute drive for me.
My Hoosier heart and my nostalgic love for college football is pumped that Nebraska is good again.
We're good. They are good. They got stud quarterback.
And then, of course, the Hoosiers, who that is my favorite college basketball team. Notre Dame is who I rep on the football field. But, this one's a tough one for me. I like to see my friends happy. So I will just rejoice in whichever one of you gets to force the other one to drink a shoey. Is there a shoey bet on this one? I guess I just assumed.
We decided on a shoey bet last night. Yes, during the show. Nice. Nate popped in the chat. We agreed on a shoey. Shoeys are mandatory in these parts.
That's right. And John with the call out. That's right. I forgot. Headbug probably a Jacksonville Jags fan by default. Poor Brits, man. That's the football that they give you. And the rest of us, we have to wake up and set our fantasy lineups for some shitty last place team playing at 9:30 in the morning.
I was gonna say it's Jags and who this week?
Who even knows? It's not the Bears. I was gonna say the Bears. Who is
the Bears? Just cooked them. I do like that the Jags just hang out over there for a week.
Just stay.
They couldn't even fire Doug Peterson because he's in London. Like shit. Then we gotta fly his ass back.
Yeah, we gotta fly him back. Well, imagine they just left him.
Oh, New England. Oh God. By 6. Jesus.
Well, Christ. You know what? For the British folk, that might be fun if the Jags go ahead and just put a stomping on the Patriots. It's just too bad the Patriots just wore their throwbacks, because it would have been really awesome if they came in with the throwbacks with the little Minuteman,
Yes.
snapping the ball.
Just really
and
just try to be a bunch of assholes.
With the red jerseys too, just be assholes about it. And then Jacksonville stomps a mud hole and all the Brits get to sing some FIFA songs. I wonder if they, if only they saw good football, we might get to see some of that awesome European fandom. But God, it's a wonder they're even awake. But if they have men that don't dive for the ball and cry like they do here, I'll take them. Hey, you'll have that.
Yeah, we got some pretty tough son bitches in football. You'll see some people fake some injuries, but unless they're really, really hurt.
Now you don't want us hooligans.
You guys are wild over there. Hooligans is right.
So as we talk about hooligans and fanhood, I had a question for you about your Nebraska Hoosiers tailgate. This is, I assume, is this a noon kickoff? Is this the big noon?
High noon.
That's what I thought. Kickoff. So, tailgate etiquette, James. At what point do you start drinking, and what do you start your day with? Are you just saying, hey, it's beer 30 no matter what? I know at Notre Dame tailgates, Bloody Marys were a big thing. I don't know if that was
Bloody Mary would be a great one.
That was like an inside joke about Catholicism or what?
Been told, Jesus. I've been told first beer is cracked at 7:30 a.m.
Ooh.
So I have to leave it. I'm going to get a nice, good night of sleep, going to bed about 9 p.m. Friday, and up at about 5 to 5:30, shower, out the door, hour, 15-minute drive, park, crack my first beer at 7:30. Now, if they have Bloody Marys or some nice, refreshing mixed drink, I will do that. However, it's probably going to be I think I'm just going to grab like a 6-pack or so of craft beer and then sip on that. And then I'm sure I know there's going to be shots involved and try to keep myself I'm in enemy territory. So you never know what'll happen out in these parts.
Oh yeah. They get pretty rowdy in Bloomington.
Yeah. Fuck, it's a sellout.
I've seen it.
I'm an idiot. I could have bought tickets last week for $30 pop. And I was like, whatever. I'll just wait. I was just being stupid. And they were 95 when I bought them today. So they announced it as a sellout. Then they tag, there's a $35 save the environment fee or whatever the fuck they call it these days.
That's all it takes, huh?
I was looking at the tickets on 3 different sites, the same exact ones, because you can list them everywhere. Ticketmaster was a $45 fee. I bought it on Vivid Seats for $35, and then there was another one. Maybe StubHub was like $42.50. I'm like, this is fucking insane. Like, they're gonna get their money, but
it's such a scam. So shout out to our never sponsor Ticketmaster and all their bullshit fees, scammy middleman and bastards. Just buy directly from the venue when you can. All right, I know it's annoying to drive down to a box office, but it's going to save you money. Easy for me to say. I could fucking walk down there if I really wanted to, but I won't because I'm lazy. Anywho, Bloody Marys at 8 a.m. maybe, but it'll definitely be beers by 7:30. All right, I like the commitment to getting up earlier because it's more about I guess it doesn't matter how early you drink.
Going with one of my former managers, his family, we're gonna go have some fun. They're big IU fans. They've never been good. They don't even know what this is like. Nebraska hasn't been good since I was fucking 10, so I might have still been in diapers at that point.
Yeah, do you remember?
It's been a minute.
What was it? Was it Eric Couch?
Eric Crouch winning Heismans and titles, and we had murderers on the team. Those were good times.
Oh, I love it. There might be murders in Milwaukee next year if these rumors about Giannis Antetokounmpo turn out to be true. James, it seems that Giannis may be prepping his beloved fans for a breakup with the Milwaukee Bucks. He was quoted as saying, "I may be traded if we don't win the title this year. That's just how the business is, and I understand it. But if we don't win it all this year, I may be traded."
Seems like he's prepping for his inevitable, I want to play in name said city.
Yeah. The what was the quote tweet that I shared in Discord? Because that person they encapsulated my thoughts on this perfectly. So give me a second as I pull that up. But it's essentially prepping them for the breakup by convincing them you don't like them or something like that, where it's just like he is he's letting you know right now this isn't going to work out. It's not you, it's me. It says soft
Yeah.
launching the breakup by gaslighting them into not wanting you first. That's what the quote
Yeah.
tweet was.
It is something.
What are your thoughts here? Does Giannis want out?
Sure seems like he's saying that. Not yet, but prepping it. Just prepping it. They won a title, right? They won a title a few years ago.
Yeah, they beat the
yeah,
the
so
Suns,
they've got
right?
he's got one, so I guess he'll do whatever he wants. Yeah, I'm not saying he wants out, but I am saying it's not me, it's you. You suck. They brought in Lillard last year, didn't go as they wanted, fired the coach after firing the coach.
And another coach.
I don't know, man. They got Super Doc Rivers there. I'm sure that'll work out great for him.
Yeah, great coach, Doc Rivers.
Everything's fine, Doc. Doc's a great coach.
And if not, hey, maybe they can call back one of the other 3 guys they fired that they're still paying and say, hey, how do you feel about coming back to earn a little bit of that money? But you mentioned a good point. I hadn't really thought about this before, and this is all my speculation, okay? There is no reason to believe what I am about to say is true. I'm just being an asshole. I'm just stirring the pot, okay? Hot take city, here it comes. Is it possible that the trades that were made could have an impact on Giannis no longer wanting to be there? Like, instead of some of the glue guys, he had Drew Holiday back there with him, and now he's got Dame Lillard. And I'm not trying to put too much of this on Dame, but Dame has not been on a winning team really ever. He's always been the guy. He's some might say a guy more focused, or his game at least alludes more to serving his own purposes than it does actually playing winning basketball. I mean, he's definitely a clutch shooter, clutch performer. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Maybe the roster isn't constructed the way he likes it anymore. He's not having as much fun. 4th coach in a year and a half.
Maybe he doesn't like Doc.
That could be it too. A lot of players don't like Doc. Final thought on this for you, James. Because it's Doc Rivers, what do you think the odds are that Giannis asked to be traded and Doc Rivers gets Dame Lillard, Bobby Portis, and one other player to lock Giannis into his home until he
stays forever?
Yeah, until he writes off the trade. And
it'd be really fucking funny. It would be really fucking funny.
Never forget, Doc Rivers once held his own player hostage so he wouldn't sign with the Mavericks.
That is true. They chaired him in, barricaded him in with a chair.
And you gotta have, if you're gonna do something like that, you gotta have Bobby Portis, because there's nobody in the NBA
Bobby ain't that. Bobby ain't that.
It's James Johnson and Bobby Portis for me, because if you don't know, Pacers 15th man James Johnson continues to get re-signed because he's a black belt, and he's just there to knock out anybody who tries to hurt Tyrese. Yeah. He's there. He's our Udonis Haslem.
Yeah.
Right? He's there to fuck somebody up if need be. John says, so some Bucks fans are turning anti. God damn it. Oh, that was good. Don't they remember how bad they were anti-Tecumseh? Oh my goodness. I like that. Thank you for that, John. Well, we've still got a few minutes here. I know we'll be wrapping up by 8. James, anything NFL wise, looking ahead to the weekend? Our boys, John and the gang on Tuesday broke down the big trades that happened in the NFL. But we can talk about it here as well. Otherwise, we won't really have an opportunity to. So any thoughts on Davante Adams going to the Jets?
Man, that hamstring got healed pretty fast, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's like that scene in Willy Wonka when he walks out with the cane and then he falls down. Yep, that's Davante, like, baby.
I love that he was just at Aaron Rodgers' house just waiting. I'm interested to see if he still got it. Obviously, they were a dynamic duo in Green Bay for a long time. I think it really helps. Rodgers not been able to develop that back shoulder throw with Garrett Wilson at all. And Davante and him are elite. I think it makes their offense is really fun now. They're not far off. They've lost 2 games by 7 points, and they're right like 8th in the standings. So it's not like it's very far off. And if you got them, like, go all in. You know, they should have done it. Got this done in the summer, but you know, I digress. You know, I was doing it before the season starts. Yeah, I mean they're 10th at 2-4, right behind Miami, Denver, Colts, Chargers, Steelers. Like, I think they could catch any of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
They got to start winning some games right now, and their offense looked a lot better last week once they fired Saleh and then changed the play caller, which fucking it was Todd Downing, former Titans offensive play calling legend. Jesus. I like it. I'm interested. They've got Pittsburgh Sunday night, big one Sunday night. Very winnable, especially when Russell Wilson goes out there and is Russell Wilson. And they're like, why the fuck did we bench Justin Fields?
Stupid. Somebody, that's got to be like owner interference or something. That's somebody coming down to Tomlin's office and saying, hey, I didn't pay this guy this money just to sit there. Because football-wise, it doesn't make any sense to me. Again, that's my equivalent of saying, "Oh, hey, AR's healthy, but we're going with Flacco." No, you know what you got with Russell Wilson. I don't think Justin Fields has hit his ceiling yet. But the other thing I wanted to talk about as we talk about Davante, and if memory serves, I think John will like this too. I believe he is in the Nick Wright haters club with me. But one of the things that I do love about Twitter is how somebody is always ready with the screenshot. And when Nick Wright went on whichever horrible Fox Sports show he is on now, and said that an over-the-hill Davante Adams won't help solve the Jets' problems. Well, wouldn't you know it, there were people with screenshots from about a week before when Nick Wright was saying whoever trades for Davante Adams is going to get a very serviceable, good wide receiver. So he immediately backtracked and did a complete 180 on Davante once Davante was paired with Aaron Rodgers. So any thoughts on that?
Stunning development.
I feel shocked. Yes.
It's just I can't stand TV, like sports television right now, and I especially can't stand ESPN and Fox. Like, they're just going for clicks, man.
You would think
they don't give a fuck. They'll contradict themselves in this. They'll contradict themselves in the same show.
Yeah, and
I truly don't even care. You know, it's so annoying.
And I don't think it's sustainable. It's a very interesting campaign that they're not the first business to try to do this. Everybody falls into this trap at one point or another, where I think you get more concerned at trying to bring in casual fans and not catering to the actual fans that exist, because sports fans don't want this hot take bullshit. This is just there to get clicks, to get people to rage at each other on either Twitter or in the comments.
That's exactly all it is.
Short term.
It's clickbaity. Yeah. It's that to what's the next hot take thing you're going to say, you know?
Yeah. And I think, I don't know, I feel like the people who really keep the lights on when it comes to consuming sports content, the people who stay up all night, watch the games, buy the full packages so they never miss anything, I don't think that brings any value to them. And so, sure, you're going to get your ad dollars on social media, but you're lessening your product. And over time, it will get rejected. Look at Skip Bayless. Like, look at Stephen A. Smith now. He has a show where he just reads tweets. Nobody wants to hear his sports takes anymore.
Yeah.
Like, everybody knows he's full of shit.
Good, like, thing with him, like, way to lean into it. Like, his tweet, like, his post when he picks tweets and reads shit he has nothing to do about, it's pretty funny. Like,
he's 10 times better at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should just do that.
But yeah, I don't give a fuck about
forward.
what he has to say. I don't care at all. Like, I really don't care. And then you get, like, I love JJ's stuff, JJ Redick, and now he's an NBA head coach, so fucking can't do anything there.
Oh yeah, but let's fire Zach Lowe, right?
Yeah,
stupid.
Nate, I'm not clicking on those. Fuck your corn.
Oh, is it? At first, I thought he was just making a Cornhuskers joke, but then I realized, no, this is actually a fight about the corn.
Fuck the corn. Fuck Indiana corn. Go Skurs.
Y'all want to know about that Ohio corn?
This weekend.
It's tainted from the bad water, the dirty train water. Oh, well, it has been a fun time, as it always is here, hanging out with you folks. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We have another piece of news, right?
Quick baseball check-in. We've got Aaron Judge just hit a bomb to tie the game in the top of the 8th, 3-3.
Ooh.
Guardians, Yankees, 3-3, top 8. Yanks up 2-0. Shout out Anthony, our boy over on Dweeb, big Yanks fan.
That's right. I'm personally pulling for the Guardians in this one.
I'm pulling for 8.5, over 8.5 runs, so I need some.
There you go. So you need those dingers. Nate, if you're in the chat, let us know your thoughts on who you think is going to win the World Series. James, you're taking the over. Do you have any rooting interest? Do you have a team that you'd prefer to see win? I want to see the Guardians win because they've been cursed.
I would like to see the Guardians make it because small market. Then the other fun one is just Mets Yankees is fun just because it's same city. But I don't. 3 of the 4 teams I don't want to be in it because they're all huge market teams.
Yeah,
the Guardians are on the edge right now. Tie game, top of the 8th, down 2-0 in the series.
They really need it. I'll be pulling for them. And, I had almost forgotten you mentioned this topic, and it didn't make the thumbnail because I wasn't sure the casual fan would know who this person was, but there's some big news in college basketball, right? We had a retirement announced today.
Virginia's Tony Bennett announces a retirement weeks ahead of the schedule. Schedule start of the season. Season starts in like 3 weeks. Was set to begin a 16th season. He's won the only national title in school history, and in the program, in basketball program history. I don't know if they won anything else. The prevailing thought here is, and it's another older coach that's gotten pushed out by NIL and the transfer portal and everything. But the prevailing thought is that he waited until right now so that he could give his associate head coach a chance to get the job. Because you're not going to go out and take another job, or you're not going to go hire another coach right now. So Ron Sanchez is the associate head coach, has been there for 5 years, is the presumed guy that would get it.
Man, I love that move. Good on you, coach. Just a salute. I love that. That's way to try to do something.
It seemed like such a weird deal, like it's such a weird retirement, but I'm like, that's kind of fucking wild, dude. Then when you think of it like that, it's awesome.
Because at first I was like, oh man, he must have had some kind of health scare pop up.
Yeah, that's what it was, like something crazy. Like, did something happen? But that's the rumor, is that happened. It's what Bo Ryan did at Wisconsin, except Bo Ryan did it right in the middle of the season. And I respect it. Like, you get these guys, these coaches, and it's so hard to find loyal coaches. And then they're with you, they build it, they win this shit with you, and then you leave, and then they don't give them the job. Which I don't know if I love promoting internally. I don't think it works out very often. But I respect the hell out of Tony Bennett being like, I'm gonna fucking wait until 2-3 weeks before the season, and I'm gonna retire. And everybody's gonna know I'm gonna do it on this staff. But until I do it, like, good for him, man. Like, that's awesome. Good for him.
Yeah, and I think it's not too bad for the players either, because obviously him
That guy's
quitting.
recruited a bunch of them. It's not some outside.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's going to be a bit of a shock that coach is quitting. But I think it becomes double the case if you also then bring in a new head coach before the season, right? So at least now they get some continuity. For the most part, it's going to be the exact same staff. So they're going to know all the coaches. And if anything, if there's a new guy, it's an assistant that gets brought in. It's not a completely new staff, would be the assumption. Because even if for some reason they don't decide to go with this guy long term, I agree with you. I don't think there is enough time from what I know from my years just as a student manager. I couldn't imagine somebody coming in at this point before the season and that not and that being anything but bad for the program. Because also any coach that's available now, the only ones,
There's a
in my
reason.
opinion, yeah, exactly. It's either you're gonna have to call someone out of retirement, or they're probably not a great candidate because we're this close to the season, they don't have a job yet.
Yeah, the guys or it'd be somebody leaving a program, and in my opinion, it's kind of like, that's fucking wild,
Yeah, so good move for Tony Bennett.
Good for him, man. Like, shouts out to him.
And we'll see if Virginia can turn their March fates around with a new head man up top. Because after that, ever since that national championship, it's been kind of bad. Been great regular seasons and disappointing either first or early round exits for that squad. So hope
yeah,
to
it
see
has
them
been.
turn it around.
But you know what? I'd take it all for that fucking national title they got.
Oh yeah, 100%. Can confirm as a Cubs fan who, what would we wait over 100 years collectively? Yeah, it was worth it.
It's worth it. It's worth the 99 shitty years, man.
It was all worth it. Well, gang, I think this about wraps us up. James, did you have any other topics? Oh, there was that weird bit of Olympics news we could talk about.
Yeah, let's talk Olympics news.
As you guys know, Olympians don't get paid much.
They don't get paid much. Olympic snowboarder wanted for cocaine distribution and murder. A former Olympic snowboarder from Canada, for Canada, has been charged with running a drug trafficking ring that shipped vast amounts of cocaine across the Americas and killed several people. Wow.
Of course, it's the day I wear the Expos hat. Thanks, guy.
FBI is offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and extradition of Ryan James Wedding. Get rid of my, thank God it's just the middle name. Canadian citizen living in Mexico. His story is just wild.
And the FBI.
He wasn't a good Olympian. In 2002, in Salt Lake City, he finished 24th in the parallel giant slalom, so he was no good. That's his problem.
Yeah, he probably was just there to sell coke to the athletes.
Probably. He is one of 16 people charged with a ring that moves 60 tons of cocaine a year. Crazy shit. He was actually in prison in 2010 for conspiracy to distribute cocaine, and the lead officer on this said once he left jail, they assumed he just resumed his drug trafficking. No shit. Protected by, I don't know cartels, but protected by the Sinaloa cartel in Mexico. So wild fucking deal, dude.
Ooh,
wild.
Well,
authorities said they seized cocaine, weapons, ammunition, cash, and more than $3 million in cryptocurrency in relation to this investigation.
Damn.
Yeah.
I find it very interesting. He's a Canadian swimmer living in Mexico, and the FBI is on the case. So I guess at some point, expect him to come through here. I imagine maybe he was flying all that cocaine over, but I imagine it was coming through the States.
Yeah, just hauling it through the States is what it was. Yeah.
My God.
Crazy.
So what happens when you don't get on the Wheaties box, James? You got to make some big boy decisions.
Yeah.
So there you have it, folks. If you were having a bad day, well, you can no longer call this swimmer to fix it for you because he's in jail and he no longer has your fix. But Here at Bite Size Sports, we have your sports fix for live shows every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, starting at 9:15, I believe, on Tuesdays. We got Necessary Roughness. No, it's 9 p.m. for Necessary Roughness, 9 p.m. Eastern. On Wednesdays, it's 9:15 Eastern for Another Damn Fantasy Podcast. And our new hour here is the 7 p.m. slot for Supersize Sports, so we can get you on out and get you ready for what will surely be an exhilarating night of Thursday night football. So, James, before we head out and make our last minute lineup adjustments, where can the folks at home find you on any night but Thursday? Well, maybe not any night. You know what I mean.
Yeah, you know the game. You can catch me, catch us. I only do things with Kevin. So me and Kev, we're the dynamic duo. Mondays, 6 p.m. Eastern, you can catch us on our sister station, Dweeb, on the weekly Dweeb, talking our favorite entertainment stories from the past week. Cover a lot of ground over there. So there's no entertainment story we won't touch. So come join us there. Or if you're a Star Wars fan, come join us every Wednesday night, 9 p.m., talking Star Wars. Kev is working his way through Rebels. He's never watched it before, and it's starting to get really good. We've just started season 2. So we're talking Rebels every single week, 9 p.m. Eastern there. And then you can catch me and Kev posting all kinds of content over there as well. So come join us. If you're a nerd, come on down.
That is right. You can join us for Dweeb. In fact, when we shut this stream down, I will be working on a preview review for you all. The upcoming Christmas thriller.
Hell yeah.
Carry On, starring Jason Bateman. There will be a few others. I had some very good movie recommendations given to me over the weekend. Had a couple of trailers shown to me, and then this Carry On one was not one of those. This was just a really bad Netflix trailer I saw that I had to share with all of you. So, of course, as James mentioned, catch us at the Dweeb on those days. And you can also find me over on Carnage Media, another partner station of ours. We have pay-per-views coming every other week now through the rest of the year. So if you want to catch the free preliminary bouts, go follow us on YouTube at Carnage Media PPV. Same handle on Twitter and Facebook if you want to be up to date on the newest events. In fact, we just announced yet another boxing event, a title-only card for November 30th. It's going to be pretty dope, man. The event's being held in the Apex Sports Zone in Lima, which is where I called the inaugural season of the MLIS, Major League Indoor Soccer, the Ohio Extreme. Sorry, Lima Warriors is their football team down there. So it's going to be great homecoming for me. I get to call a fight in an indoor soccer arena. That's going to be pretty neat.
That's fun.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Back to your old stomping grounds.
Exactly. Outside of that, guys, give us a like and a subscribe if you could on the way out. We greatly appreciate it. Thanks again to everybody who hung out in the chat. And until next time, we will see all of you later.